Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising, today is a new day to start again. It is 2/26/2025. Back to work today. For me, I think it was a top 10 vacation for me. I hope I still have a job, but if I don't, I think I'm going to be okay. I'm sure everything's fine. It's just weird to go away from job and then come back after you've been away for a while. And I really enjoyed yesterday, though. From now on, when I do a vacation, I am definitely going to have what I will call a cool down day. I've heard about it before, and I'm going to add it as a practice because I think it helps a lot. So then I went into a riff here. My daughter didn't know what riff meant, so I was going to explain it, but I never really took the time to explain what a riff was and just tried to show her. But so here's what I wrote, and then I'll just read it. Somehow I have I've written over here, but I think that was just where I started. The Tao is for getting something new every day. That's what the Tao teaches in the Tao Te Ching. People get that confused quite a bit. The Tao it existed, or it has always existed. And even in the Tao Te Ching, which is attempting to describe the Tao, it is up front from the beginning, acknowledging that it can't be described, but is still learning. So even though you're forgetting something new every day, people will misinterpret that. It's like taking sound bites and created them into narratives, which is kind of how life works around these parts. But back in the days where you didn't have that much power in words, you could still teach without having all of this other influence. But so I guess what I'm trying to say is the flow of it is that you are learning all the time in the Tao, but you're also forgetting something every day, at least something, I think, is part of what the idea is. But then I was trying to kind of, because this brought me to what really the formula was to where I am now. And I think it began with the Tao Te Ching, and that really resonated with me, and I was enthralled with that for a while. And I got into meditation and trying to learn how to, in stretching. And that helped me, like, unlock things, I think, in my body by actually just working on my feet and my hands. That became very important to me. I'm just trying to explain how I train wrecked. So the Tao Te Ching led me into stretching and yoga. There's so many ways you can go, and everyone knows this, especially when you start to look at things differently. Then I rolled into a beginner's mind, which was basically an understanding of Japanese is interesting because it's almost a merging of Western and Eastern. For some reason, it's kind of an area where that happened. And A Beginner's Mind is a novel. It was Japanese that I stumbled across that, combined with the Tao Te Ching, really created New Day to Start. And it put me on a journey where I was really devoting myself to looking at everything. And Socrates, I'm not really sure how. The funny thing is it wasn't even said like that. I'm not even sure what the vocal would be for it, but has always resonated with me from the very beginning of hearing it. But I went back to that and what became of that into Plato and Platoism and Neoplatoism is a very huge part of us. And then Hercules, I went deep into that. I haven't went as much into Hercules as I want to. I need to devote more time into that because I think there is something there that we can ascribe to. I think that humans, us here, not quite like what he does, but in the myths, but I think it's possible that that's more of a connection to us. But Athena, then I really got into the feminism of it. And I don't think feminism is the right way to say it, but Athena's butterfly, Prometheus, both of those intertwined for me, and the fire, the idea of fire. And then Father, Lord, and Zeus, and then grandfather and Kronos and time and the sky, Uranus. I find it very interesting that maybe the origin of our sky or the sky itself comes from Uranus, and we've turned that into like a joke, and it might literally be something there. The sun and the moon and Mars and Venus, back to Earth and down into Tartarus, Tartary and Tartaria. I'm sorry, I don't care if it's been debunked. I think there is something to the Tartary and the Tartarus and Tartaria. Do most people know what Tartaria is by now, or is that still something that most people don't know what Tartaria is? I am a wood rabbit, according to the Chinese zodiac, and I have been looking for things associated with being a wood rabbit because, I mean, it's kind of a thing. So that's from March of 1975. So what is a wood rabbit? This is where I spend my moments now when I'm really looking into things. Also, like, what's my north node? What is a node? I got into that. I'm still circling back to that. There's only so much time because we have to do these jobs that we have to go to work at. There's a north node, there's a south node that are very influential in our lives, I think. I truly think that they are major. Some of this, I think that these things, once we discover what they are very influential on optimum. I like to follow the way, so it's happiness is not the right way to call it, or love really, but I think that love is the way. So I mean, it's just part of, this is what we are to do once we find out where we're supposed to look. And I kind of get excited about it because it opens so many things up that I never really understood. Mother and father union, I think, is what the way is. Allegiance to your father and the mother at the same time, all the time, which is really hard to do because they fight. This is where the Tao is. That's what our role is, I think, as a humanity. That's our obligation, really. We are the balance. But there is functional and then there is non-functional. And I think that's what evil and non-evil is, or good, I guess, if you want to call it. Things that work, functional. Things that work between mother and father, or work for both mother and father, that help to perpetuate the cycle that already and always does exist. As long as you're in flow with it, you are part of the functional. When you are against it, you are a part of the non-functional, which can be deemed as evil, but also necessary, probably. I don't know. Off in the weeds on this one. We're going to have another long video. Everything's work. Okay, here we go. I got into something new and I started to write better. I've talked about that in other videos, so let's see what I had to say. Everything works with or without me. New day to start might continue without me. For better or for worse, till death do us part. Do you know me? Have you watched my videos? Some have never seen one. This is the first video you have ever seen, and you know who I am already. Some have seen every video, and they still do not know me. I don't know that I know myself. Do my videos from yesterday reveal today or tomorrow? The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that's tomorrow. I don't know. I went a little off. I carried it too far. I was in that singing, and I was thinking to myself, if this is the first video you've ever seen, you didn't know that I was going to break out into a song. I do that. On my trip, I went on a trip I've referenced in my last video with the Silver Fox, which is my car, and my cat, Bodhi. On my trip, I met many strangers. I had private conversations that included the divine. I felt like I was speaking. I felt like the divine was speaking in the moments that I was a part of. And it was very special. Several of them. Like, nothing better than starting your day with like a life-changing possible moment for someone else and then getting to mic drop. And my new thing is to mic drop. I like that a lot. Just leave that there and let's go on. And hope that it just turns into something great. And you'll never know about it. I use these stories to share with some loved ones because moments can be very impactful. But whenever you share them with others, you lose the power of it. That's what I think kind of happens. I think that whenever you do something that's a great deed that no one sees, my new thing is I think that you store that up. But when you tell people about it, you do use it, you give it to them, and then they get to use it because they are uplifted or scorned, whatever happens. Sometimes people are scorned by your good deed stories because they're just like looking at you going, why are you telling me this? You want to tell me how good of a person you are? And sometimes that's what you're doing. But I like the mic drop is my newest thing because I do think that less is more is really important. And if you do a really well strategicized, I'm making up words here. If you pull it off at the right time, those are the best ones. And then you leave and you never come back to it again. You never have to. You could leave forever and they'll remember that moment. Listen and wait for moments you are called to sing. And then sing, or dance, or hit the shot. Hit it. Hit it. Get the girl. Not good at that one. Close the sale. I used to be good at that one. The art of the deal, or the art of war. I was talking earlier about the Tao Te Ching, and then A Beginner's Mind, which is also a very important one for me. But the art of war, the thing is, I don't get too in depth. You could spend a lifetime just learning about the art of war, which, some people can do that and do that because it's that great of a museum. Like when I went to Washington, D.C., I stopped at the Smithsonian and I only had a day, really, not even a day to look. And it's, you get in there, that's ridiculous. You could spend a day in a room. And the same thing with when I went to New York, I went to the Met and I didn't have much time there. So I handled the Met much differently. I learned actually, because I knew I only had a little bit of time when I was at the Met. I really just tried to do a quick all the way through and tried not to spend too much in one area, but the energy that I pulled from that was remarkable. I just think getting yourself into energy is what's awesome about life. Whenever you really get into understanding what energy is, that's where you really enjoy things, especially in present moments. If you're in my line of thinking, an art of war is an absolute must. You should get a handle on what it is. Also, and I can't say this very well, so I'm going to give it a go. Machiavellianism. I had it the first time. Machiavellianism. That's not right. Machiavellianism. Freaking A. But that's a good one too. It's just you need to understand like the logical other side. I guess is the best way to say it. Difference between understanding and understanding. Know thy enemy is to have no enemies. I am my brother's keeper, or am I my brother's keeper? Abel died for Cain. Cain was cursed to live. My blood, sweat, and tears to my brothers and sisters still toiling in this soil. I give me to you in my flesh and on my videos. But my bones, my bones are for my greatest of grandfathers, stem to tree of life, with my ultimate root, the root birthed from mother earth, mother earth, from all who came, from who has lived here with me, like all who have been here that have left statues. Beyond that is beyond the way. It's beyond the way I can go. It's beyond the way I should go. It's beyond the way I will go. It's beyond the way I won't go. And the sun shines every day. It comes forth to us. And the moon and the Mars. I thought about that last night when I was looking around, and I'm like, Aries always look to Mars. Where's that at? Where's Mars? The god of war. Listen, war is very much like love. Like the name of war has been changed. It has the wrong meaning now. But that's for another day. Sometimes I stretch these because I think I'm lonely. So I start to do these videos, and then in the process of doing them, I get kind of connected to knowing that there are people that watch them and thinking of who it might be sometimes. And I'll keep talking because you can talk yourself right out of a sale. I've done that in my day more than once. And the best course of action is usually to shut up. But when you are lonely and you're like, it's like you're begging, starving a little bit. You shouldn't do that. It's not part of the Tao. But we still do. I still do. I'm not perfect. Where is Bodhi? Bodhi came in here and then got bored. But I'm filled up now. I went on this trip, and it really was a great trip for me. And I'm very motivated. I do go back to work today. I've talked a lot on these videos, and I've probably alluded too much to my job, so I will try to do better with that moving forward, because I don't think it's fair to involve other people. If there are people watching this is on public forum. But I try to keep my actual private life anonymous from this, and it's very beneficial to me. So you don't have to watch it if you don't like what I have to say. And it really is my thing. It's not connected to anything. I am New Day to Start. And then there's a person that I also work as, a different person that has to be vulnerable in the real world. So whatever, use it for what it is. What I do is I try to follow what I am passionate about, which is the Tao, love. That's I can't emphasize this. This is truly what I am now discipled to do. I am going to bring out this idea of the way, because I think it helps. I think it's something that we all need. I don't care where you're at, what status you are. Donald Trump, you need the way, buddy. And I think, I'm not going to talk about him. I shouldn't have even said his name, honestly, but from what I've seen, I don't know what you want me to say. It seems like things are, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be involved in it. I just want it to be good. But the Tao is great. So as long as I can say that to him, I'm a regular guy. I implore you, look at the Tao. Take some time with that, because you probably could slow down a little bit. Maybe you should slow down a little bit. The Tao is great. Be great. Be grateful. We have as much power as you do, big guy. Let's take away these wrong meanings and start talking normal. Is that what I'm doing? Talking straight to the big cheese? Am I done? I think I'm done. All right, so let's promote 20-minute video. Let's promote my next Wednesday's New Day to Start present live with fresh eyes. I'm going to be discussing home, home. Have you ever drawn that connection? That's probably one of the most important things we can do with our body, is to say home, but it's also home. So I will choose a random Bible verse. That's what I do with Fresh Eyes. So every week, this is episode 7 that we're going into. It's slowly becoming a cultural phenomenon. That's what I'm saying. I will choose a random Bible verse. That's what I do because I've been called to look into the Bible, and this is a way that I can do it. So what I'm doing is I'm choosing a random Bible verse each week that I do this randomly, and then I basically will read it, and then what I'm going to do is go back and do an written analysis of what I think of each of those. But that's kind of how I open each one, so that I can incorporate the Bible into my understanding of everything. And then I talk about a subject. So I've done various subjects up till now. We will do home, this next one. And what I do is I use the newly developing rabbit hunt method known as, well, it's newly developing, so I don't have a name for it yet, but the Clarkey something may be what it is. But it's how I basically look things up. And but home is the subject. So what I'll do is after I do my little thing on home, and then I open it up and I'll look back through and see if anybody chatted. Sometimes people chat a little bit, and it's something that I've enjoyed doing. It's not really taken off yet, but if you build it, they will come. So next Wednesday, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, new day to start, live with Fresh Eyes. Next week is home. Be there or be square. Well, that's it. Back into the real world, kids. I hope I still keep moving in a productive manner. I have been somewhat productive as a person in this regular society. So outside of this new day to start, I actually try to be a couple other things. I try to be a dad and a father. And to do that, I've been trying to be my old self, which was a furniture salesperson, which I had a lot of success in my younger days. And I'm trying to utilize that to help me be who I am. And so hopefully, moving forward, today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. The Tao is great. Do great. Be great. Be grateful. Have an awesome day.